Today's Tuesday and it's the 19th of March 2024, and I've just got a few items of news that have caught my eye this week. And the first one I'm quite happy about, but I don't know about all of you. It concerns smoking, and in particular smoking on beaches. And a number of beaches have now declared that they won't be allowing smoking. In particular, the new one that's been added here in Mallorca is the Playa de Muro, one of the most beautiful beaches on the island, perhaps one of the most beautiful in Spain or even in Europe, perhaps even the world. But that means that we've now got about 50 beaches in total on the Balearic Islands. That means I'm including now Menorca and Ibiza and Formentera. But here in Mallorca we've got one of the beaches in Alcudia, we've got Camp de Mar, San Telmo, we've got the beach in Palma Nova, the first one you come across, which is Carregador. We've got one in Santa Ponsa, we've got one in Peguera as well, the Romana, and several other beaches dotted around the island. They should be well signposted, and all other beaches, though you might be allowed to smoke, you've got to be very careful about where you put your cigarette butts at the end of it, because there are big fines if you actually leave them in the sand. Another curiosity which I hadn't really thought about before, but we do get quite a lot of Chinese tourists in the island. Apologies for the outstanding noise out there. And the Balearics are actually going to be encouraging more and more Chinese to come, and we are expecting to get some direct flights. And this is all being brought about by the fact that China has introduced visa-free travel with certain European countries, and Spain is one of them, and so Spain has reciprocated by allowing the Chinese to come and visit on holiday as well. So we're expecting some flights, some of them might even be daily between Spain and China, and even to Hong Kong as well. So we're expecting quite a lot of visitors. Not as many as there were before, and it surprised me that there used to be 700,000 visitors from China in the pre-pandemic era, so 2019, but the statistics are going to be something like at least 380,000 coming to Mallorca, and well, it just adds a different aspect to the island. Looking at the holiday bookings, they seem to be up. Some Balearic holiday bookings up by 10.2%. And the domestic bookings, that's 57.2% is the share of bookings. The British come next, that's the United Kingdom with 15.3%, and Germany falling behind, which surprised me, with 3.7%, considering there's such a lot of German residents here on the island. Calvia expects to have around 149 hotels open by the end of the holiday, end of March. That's of the 230 tourist establishments that they do have, so that's his hotels and apartments. 149, that's well over half of them, and that'll mean we're going to see a lot more tourists around. One of my pet complaints on the island is about graffiti, and in Palma they've declared war on graffiti, and they promise to get rid of all of the graffiti, but there's so much of it, it's taking time. Well, the first stage has been a convent which is called Santa Magdalena, and they've managed to clean up all the sandstone walls, which is really difficult because the sandstone does absorb the paint very well, and it's all been removed, so that's been really good. And the mayor said if any appears there, it will be cleared up within 24 hours. And I think that's maybe something that will put off the graffiti artists, because if their work disappears very quickly, all the effort that they put into it will be wasted, and hopefully they'll move to somewhere else or do something else more constructive. According to the statistics, the Balearics is one of the EU regions with the highest proportion of foreign population. 17.1% of the population in Spain is foreign born. That's for 2023. And if we look at the autonomous communities, the Balearics is 27%. 27%, more than a quarter of the Balearic Islands are foreign born. Madrid comes next with 24%, and then the other regions obviously much less. So a lot of foreigners living on the island. Good news for those people who are looking for transfers from the Palma Airport. It's starting a little bit earlier this year, so March the 22nd you can expect to get the bus from Palma Airport. That's the A11 bus, which will take you through to the Calvi region, to Palma Nova, Magaluf, Santa Ponsa, Bulgaria, and other buses going to different parts of the island are also starting early as well, and that's a much cheaper way than trying to get a taxi or a transfer, obviously depending on the number of passengers involved. Also, the number of buses on the island are going to be increased. And just to remind you that if you're on a TIB bus, the best and cheapest way is either to book it online or to tap on and tap on off with one of these contactless cards. So if you've got a contactless bank card, you tap on. If there's 2 passengers, you tap twice, but you've got to remember to tap twice when you get off as well. Otherwise, you'll have to pay till the end of the line, and that could be a little bit more expensive. If you're on the airport bus and you want to go to somewhere like Palma Nova or Magaluf, it's only going to cost you €4 or €5 on the bus if you do the tapping off, on and off. So it's much cheaper than getting a taxi. And it's a fast bus as well. It doesn't stop anywhere else. Once you're on it, it goes all the way. It's like an express bus. Another thing I've been covering in the news bulletins that I've been given are motorhomes. They're very popular on the island, but there have been virtually no official places you can actually put these motorhomes and actually use them. Well, Muro, which I mentioned before, one of these wonderful beaches, the municipality of the area did say that they didn't want them parking in the streets. And they've sort of defined what they mean. It's got to be 5 meters in length and more than 2 meters in height. You're not allowed to park in the streets. But they are going to be providing an area for these motorhomes to be parked, and so there will be actually a place for them. So I think that's a great move forward. And it's not the only municipality. Sineo apparently is doing something similar. Well, football. Mallorca's going football crazy because Real Mallorca managed to get into the Copa del Rey, the Spanish Cup final, which is going to be held in Seville in the south of Spain. Not the easiest place for people from Mallorca to get to. Everything is going to involve either a flight or a boat journey. Not enough flights going to Seville. It's just can't cope with the numbers that are involved. There's something like 20,000 supporters hopefully going to watch them play. So a number of charter flights have had to be organised, and boats going to Valencia or to Denia, which then involves a long bus ride down to Sevilla. Some people are going to Madrid and then catching the bus or the train which take you down to Sevilla. It's all very, very expensive, and the prices quoted are astronomical. In some cases, €600 just to get there. That doesn't include the price of the tickets. Well, something really interesting, and I smiled when I read this. I didn't think it was going to happen. But the Partido Popular, which is the one that has the majority or has the seats in the government here, proposed that they had the 75% discount, which not usually applied to charter flights. And it was put through Parliament and it's been agreed. So I don't know if people who've already booked whether they'll get the 75%. That remains all to be seen. But, well, it's all going through. 75% reduction even on the charter flights. So that's on the boat and on the charter flight. You've still got to pay full on the coaches, I'm afraid. And looking at the website, so the tickets went on sale today. The cheapest ones are €40, the most expensive are €220, and by lunchtime 14,500 had already been sold, including some of the cheaper ones. Now the cheaper ones, €40, you get into the ground, but it says reduced visibility, and when you actually look at the seats where you're actually sitting, it's not reduced, it's almost total. You can't see the pitch. You can see just a small amount of the pitch. You won't really be able to see the game going on unless you're looking at a screen somewhere. So a little bit disappointing, I think, and that there are seats with which you can't actually see the football pitch and watch the football match. But those seats are being sold, and a number of people have already bought them. Some friends of ours already got their tickets, and they made their arrangements. We're not going. We've got visitors that week, and so we'll be here and we'll be watching it either on the television, or we'll have a look to see what the football club are offering in the way of a big screen at the ground. But it's quite late at night, and you could find yourself still watching the football match at midnight. It will go to extra time and penalties. And finally, the weather forecast. Well, it's been a glorious day today. Lots of sunshine, nice mild temperatures, and they're expected to go on for the next 2, 3, 4 days. By the time the weekend comes, it's going to turn a little bit. It's going to get cooler, possibility of rain on Sunday and showers on Monday. And guess what? We've got another little trip planned for this weekend. Well, more about that later, and you'll be able to catch up with us and see where we're going. Anyway, hope you found this bit of local news interesting. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.